Hello and welcome to Cruises for Solos. Hopefully this video is going to help make cruising solo more affordable. But first guys, please subscribe to YouTube. I really do need a few more YouTube subscribers. That would be absolutely fantastic. Right, okay, cruising solo. As you know, us solo cruisers can often get really ripped off in my opinion. Often we pay double the price. It's just crazy. But you can make cruising solo far more affordable. So here are a few of my tips of how I do it, and hopefully it'll point you in the right direction. Okay, first of all, number one, cruise on a ship, guys and ladies, that has solo cabins. There's loads of ships out there that has solo cabins, and you should really be paying a solo rate. If you're not sure which ones, Google it. I'll put a link on my website. I've got a list of all the ships that have solo cabins as well. That makes a massive difference, yeah? That way you're paying solo price. If you're not sure, check the solo price and then check the price for the inside cabin for two people, and hopefully it won't necessarily be half, but it won't be that far off it. That is one of the most important single things that can make your price a lot cheaper, yeah? By cruising solo in a solo cabin, you're only paying for yourself. You're not paying for somebody else who isn't with you. And one of the things I do to make the most of cruising, basically, is I take the transatlantic. I go on a transatlantic. The reason for the transatlantic is that you get a lot more days on a cruise ship for your money, because they're repositioning the ships from normally from Europe to the United States, and that's a really good way of getting a great deal and getting lots of days on a cruise ship. So, and if you really, and another little tip guys, if you really want to make the most of this and make it like a holiday of a lifetime, a cruise of a lifetime, go back to back. Because if you take the transatlantic, like I do from Barcelona to Florida, you're there in the States. And so stay on the ship, and then you can go back to back and you can do 7 days in the Caribbean. So you've got a great 7-day Caribbean holiday and you're already there. You don't have to pay for an extra flight. So that's one really good way of doing it. So what you're doing basically, you're taking a reasonably cheap flight to Europe, if you're from Europe, to say something like Barcelona, and you got one big transatlantic flight back. And obviously it's exactly the same thing if you're coming from the United States. That's a really good way of doing it. Or cruise from a local port. All my American friends, that's obviously a lot easier for you, because you can cruise from Florida. There's loads of ports in Florida, New York, Puerto Rico and the Caribbean, and you can take a 7-day cruise that way. And that way you don't have any flights to take if you're living locally, of course. Obviously if you're living in a different part of America, you have to fly in. But cruising from a local port, from the UK for instance, we cruise from Southampton, from Portsmouth, from Dover, and from many parts up north as well. So it's a really good way of saving money by cruising from a local port back and forth. But obviously in the UK, it's a summer thing to do, to be honest with you, because it's the Mediterranean, you know, and unless you want to do the Northern Lights, but the Mediterranean is best in spring, summer and autumn, and you can cruise from Southampton, and it's really easy to get to, and there's loads of places. You can go to the Canaries, you can go to Portugal, you can go to Spain, you can go to Italy, you know, you can go to Norway, Sweden, see the Northern Lights. It's a really good way of doing it, and you don't have to fly. That also helps save money, yeah? Another thing is drinks package, guys, yeah? The most expensive thing on a cruise ship is the drinks. So try to find a deal where you get a drinks package. That really helps. That makes a massive difference. And if you can't, then buy the soft drink package. At least you've got some drinks on the ships. That's a really big tip, yeah? Because if you do go on a cruise and you get a bit carried away with a few drinks, you're going to get an expensive bill. So try to find cruises that have drinks packages included. A lot of them do, you know. Right, okay. Another thing is become part of a group. Now, what is a group? There are plenty of Facebook pages out there and groups out there. Obviously, I have Cruises for Solos that has group cruises. That means you become part of a larger group, and because you're part of a larger group, we can get a much better deal for everybody. So you're not paying loads of money, and you won't necessarily have to be in a solo cabin to do that either. You can sometimes go on ships that don't have solo cabins because you're part of a group, and the travel agents get loads of cabins and you've got a great deal. So that's a really good tip. Become part of a group, that will really help. And also, you've got to meet people already. You've got friends already. As soon as you get on the ship, you're going to have loads of friends already. Another tip, to be honest with you, is book early. I mean, booking late's great if you can do that. If you live near a port, that's fantastic and you've got time to do it. But otherwise, booking early really is a really good way of getting the best deals, because I always notice my cruises that I book always go up in price. Okay, last minute you get some amazing deals if you're willing to wait, and you can do that, yeah? But if you've got to fly, if you have to organise a flight, a transatlantic flight, then you can't do that. And another tip, my last tip, yeah, flying miles. Collect flying miles. It really makes a huge difference. It means that you can go to places that you would never think about going to, and you can get a really cheap price, because all you end up paying is the airport tax. I'll give an example. I fly with Virgin, yeah. So I have a Virgin. I'm going to transatlantic this year, and I have to fly back from New York. I'm on the inaugural Norwegian Encore transatlantic from Southampton to New York. So I've got to get a flight back. So I'm using my flying miles, and it's only costing me just over £100 to fly back with Virgin, which is fantastic. So how do you collect flying miles? What I did, one, I stuck with the same airline, so I started to build up miles straight away. And there are loads of programs where you can collect miles as well. For instance, when I go shopping, yeah, I go shopping at Tesco's in England, yeah, in the UK, and Tesco's, rather than get vouchers, I get flying miles points. And also, when I fill up my car with petrol, I use a Tesco's petrol, and I get more flying miles points. It really mounts up. And what you can do, for instance, if you really want to, you know, I took out a Tesco's current account, for instance, and I pay all my bills by Tesco's current account because I get miles for everything I pay. It's fantastic. And what I've heard some people do also, if you want to do that with a credit card, it's entirely up to you. You can take for instance, you can take a Virgin credit card out, which gives you loads of flying miles just to apply, and then every single time you're buying something on your credit card, you're getting miles. But obviously, it's really important to pay the money back, otherwise you're going to get a huge bill at the end of it. So hopefully these are a few tips that are going to help you cruise solo at a reasonable price. You can have the cruise of your lifetime, 20 days, and if you do it the right way, if you do a transatlantic and you do back to back, you can get it for an amazing price. So hopefully I've guided a few solo travellers how to cruise solo. I learned the hard way, guys. I really did, yeah? And if you're pleased again, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's really important. And also, don't forget, we have our Facebook group, which is Cruises for Solos, where we share fantastic advice for everybody. Hopefully, I'll see you all on board. Bye.